Hi guys, my name is Lucy and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing a pop rock advice video. Now, this is something I am in no way an expert on. Basically, this is what I did last term at Erdang, and it was something that I was petrified of before we did this term. So I thought I'd just take this time to sit down in a video and explain to you guys what I learned, what I found beneficial, and basically how I this sounds so cliche, conquered my fear of pop rock and how I overcame that and how I now enjoy it, if that makes sense. Some of you guys have actually requested this video, so I really do hope it's helpful, and if there's anything that I missed out that you hoped I would have included, please do leave me questions in a comment and I'll be sure to get back to you. So I've actually made some notes on my phone. I've gone through my notebooks from this term and found what I thought was useful and all those kind of things from loads of different teachers, and basically compiled a little pop rock advice video. And I know myself, I'll probably come back to this video in a few months when I'm thinking, oh my god, I need a pop song, I don't remember what to look for. So hopefully it'll be as helpful for me as it is for you guys. My first piece of advice would be to make sure to look for a song with really interesting story and lyrics. So for example, really good writers for this are people like Pink and Avril Lavigne, also Kelly Clarkson. All those people, their songs have true stories and meanings behind them. A lot of songs are just repeated lines and things like that and don't actually have that much story behind them. You need to remember, when you're doing a pop rock song as a musical theatre performer, it's still about the story and the acting through song as much as it would be if you were singing a pre-1965 legit song. So many pop songs actually have incredible stories and are so emotional. So for example, a song like Dear Mr. President by Pink is an incredible story and honestly has so much emotion in it, and you can really imagine it was in a musical. I remember my friend Meg sang it, and the first time I heard it, I thought it was a musical theatre song. So really, a song that you feel could be in a musical would be a good place to start. When it comes to cutting a pop song, it can be quite frustrating because pop songs can be very repetitive, and also the sheet music can be extremely confusing because it's got codas, it's got signs, and the piano part is all over the place. You obviously want to make your sheet music as easy to understand for the pianist. So if you're cutting the second verse, for example, simply remove the repeat bar line and remove the second time bar cut. If you guys do want a whole video on how to cut sheet music and stuff, be sure to let me know because I hope that would maybe be helpful for some of you guys. When you're cutting a pop song, what you really want to look for, if it's a kind of standard layout pop song, you want to have a verse, a chorus, a bridge, and another chorus. That's kind of what you need. Obviously, if someone's asking you for a 16 bar cut or something, you can't have that. But if you're just looking to cut a pop song for an audition, it doesn't specify how long it needs to be. That's a kind of good guideline to go by. When it comes to the actual singing side of the pop song, I know that sounds very silly because the whole thing is about singing, but as in when it comes to the melody and stuff, you want to look at the range that the pop song has. So a singer, for example, like Madonna, obviously she is a pop legend. However, if you look at a lot of her songs, the actual vocal range is quite narrow and doesn't have that much variation in it. So if you're doing it for audition, it doesn't really show the panel what you can do. So when you're looking at a pop song, you really want to find one that's going to show off your range as much as an MT song would. So for example, I did Emily Sandé's Clown. That has a really big range because she has an absolutely epic voice and her songs are incredible. Honestly, when you're finding pop songs, you're going to start to realize that there are a set few artists. If you stay within them, you know you're going to be safe because 99% of their work is amazing and really accessible to musical theatre performers, really useful from a story point of view and from a singing point of view. A lot of pop songs are very repetitive. They repeat the same verse and chorus quite a few times, which is obviously quite uncommon in musical theatre music. When you're finding a pop song, you want to find something that's got something a little bit different and it doesn't just keep droning on and on and on. So as I said before about the structure being verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, for example, if that chorus has a key change, that's a really good thing because it can show something a little bit different, shows a bit of variation, and also you have a motive in somewhere that you're going to. So a lot of teachers said to us that you really want to look for a song that has a key change in that last chorus. On that note, if you think a song is boring and repetitive, It probably is. Like, you need to trust your own judgment a lot of the time. Sometimes I would pick a song and be like, oh, I think this is really boring, but it's by a writer that one of my teachers said is good, so it must be good. Honestly, not every writer writes every single song as amazing as the next. So your own judgment on a song is so important. Honestly, trust your own judgment and you're probably gonna be right 99% of the time. The amount of times I went into class with a list of songs being like, I think these are all rubbish, is that right? And the teacher would be like, yeah, they're rubbish. And also, even if the teacher says it's the most amazing song ever, but you hate singing it and you find it boring, you're not going to come across well when you're singing it. So really find a song that you can connect with and that you can enjoy. Just like when you're choosing a musical theatre song, if you hate the song, it's going to come across in your performance. The next thing is something that I am super guilty of, and that is don't just stick to what it says on the sheet music. Obviously, this goes against everything that I would ever say in musical theatre. In musical theatre, you need to sing what the writer has written, what the lyricist has written, because they've written it for a reason, they've chosen every single note for a reason, and you should sing what they've written. However, in pop, it is very different, because if you look at a piece of sheet music for a pop song and listen to the artist sing it, a lot of the time it is completely different, because they're riffing, they're ad-libbing, they're adding their own little bits of flair and bit of performance and bit of personality. Pop is such an amazing way to show off your personality, and that is why so many shows at the moment, the first round will ask you for a pop song. Apparently most musicals, it's very rare that you will sing a musical theatre song in the first round. Obviously, unless it's a legit musical or something like Les Mis, then obviously you're going to do MT, but so many of the current shows, you're going to be asked for a pop song. So yes, talking about not singing what is on the page, honestly, go for it. Sing whatever you want. I am so guilty at singing exactly what's on the page. As a classically trained singer, I was always taught to sing what's on the page. So for me, it's really hard to steer away from that. One singing lesson I had with a cover teacher, he literally put the sheet music in front of me and said, sing anything but what is on the page. And that is so against my natural instincts, because I can vaguely sight read, so I kind of sing what's on the page. So to go completely against that felt so alien. But honestly, pop is all about playing and having fun, and when you do a riff that you feel works, try and do it again and maybe record yourself doing it, and then maybe the next 10 riffs you do will be rubbish, but when you find that one that works, go for it. While I'm talking about riffing, as much as riffing in pop is great, I am useless at riffing, but you know what? Everyone's got to try. It's really not my forte, but I know that's just because I've not practiced it enough. You need to have a reason to riff. A lot of pop songs, people can get a bit carried away and be riffing on every single note, which is amazing. However, if you don't have a meaning behind it, then it's not really worth it. Always have a meaning behind your riff, have an emotion behind it. Obviously, a lot of pop singing is about the song, however, we're doing it in a musical theatre capacity, so having a reason behind everything you do is super important. And the final piece of advice I would say is do not do a karaoke impression. This was a big piece of advice we were given throughout the pop rock term at Erdang, is don't listen to the recording of Mariah Carey or of Kelly Clarkson and copy exactly what they do, because that's not you. As I said, pop is so much about showing your personality and showing your potential as a singer and showing all the cool things you can do. If you're just doing a karaoke impression, then it's not really what they're looking for. So as much as you can, I would say try not to listen to the original so many times, because it will honestly get stuck in your brain and you won't be able to do anything but what that artist does on the recording. And finally, I would say just try and enjoy it. I spent so long being scared of pop rock when honestly it's no different at the end of the day to musical theatre, and it's actually a lot of fun to do. And honestly, if you'd asked me 2 months ago would I be saying that, I would have laughed in your face. But honestly, it's so much fun. It's such a different way of singing, but it's amazing how you can take such a different style of singing to musical theatre and put it in a musical theatre genre. And also the more contemporary musical theatre stuff today, half of it sounds like a pop song and is written like a pop song. For example, we have someone like Sarah Bareilles, who's an insane pop writer, wrote Waitress, which is a musical which obviously has loads of pop influences in it because she was originally a pop writer. Musical theatre and pop, the lines between them are becoming so thin now, and I think that's amazing because they're two epic genres, so coming together they can just make something even more amazing. So yes, just don't be scared of pop rock and honestly just give it a go, and I promise you, from someone who was probably as far from pop rock as possible, I'm sure you will learn to enjoy it. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys, and I hope it's given you a bit of an insight in what to expect if you're doing pop rock in college. As always, thank you so much for all your support. It means so much to me, and I will hopefully see you guys again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.